St. Skinner at their Sweet Home, Alabama, 8:23. Good morning. It's Matt and Ange.
Few showers ending late this morning, then clearing up. But windy. Temperature sticking around 8. It's 7 right now.
It's Kevin and John, the last of the mayoral hopefuls, in studio.
What's up?
Now, what's your plan? I mean, let's say you make it. Mm-hmm. One of you win. What's the first thing you do?
Weep to myself silently.
What have I done?
No. In all seriousness, you'd go and do the job.
Yeah.
You know? I assume they've actually sent out emails telling us about the scary briefing that they have immediately following the election for successful candidates. So you go to that, you make. And you start the job. It's a big job, but we put ourselves up for it. So
yeah, you basically start reading and don't stop for the next 4 years.
Exactly. So you drop out of school?
I go to school part-time, so it's still going to be a thing for me.
Right.
You know, education's important.
I'm not actually going to school right now, so I'd be a full-time mayor for sure.
Yeah.
4 years from now, you won't have a job. Dropped out of school to be a mayor.
Look what it's done to me. So let's talk about the issues, though. I mean, if you had to pick three, what would be your top three?
My top three, personally, I don't know about Kevin here because we do differ on some of the issues. But I'd say the big issues are, especially affecting youth, public transit is a big one. It needs to be an alternative to cars, and it's just not. I mean, it's faster for me to walk most places that the bus goes than actually take a bus. And it's expensive for me not being a student. So I think the public transit is a big issue. Affordable housing near the downtown core, I think, is important. We keep sticking it in the suburbs, and I'm not really sure why. So put it closer to downtown and to the urban core where young people can use it and where people don't need cars.
Close to amenities.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the third part is revitalizing downtown so that we have more of those amenities, so that it becomes a place to live versus just, play.
What about that section between Division Street and Bath Road, Princess? What are you doing there to revitalize that, to make that a whole downtown core instead of separate?
For sure.
The Midtown?
Yeah, Midtown.
What do you do with Midtown?
That's what they call
Midtown,
it.
We've actually stolen an idea from Rob.
Yeah.
Rob Matheson,
we keep having to extol this because other people claim it as their own idea when it's Rob's. But,
it's Rob's. The Midtown Business Interest Association or Improvement Area, like the DBIA, only specifically for Midtown. I think it's important to deal with it as a separate part of Kingston because it has such different needs. And the Kingston Arts Council is interested in building a facility there and supporting a sort of arts rebirth in that community. Yeah. So I think that's a really good idea for sure.
What about the arts? Can you talk about that for a few minutes?
Well, they're struggling in Kingston. The cultural master plan kind of outlines most of what we want to do. It's just a matter of prioritizing and applying funding so that we can do that in the first couple years of whoever's period as mayor.
I think it's a big thing that, as far as arts in the city of Kingston is a great place for sort of established artists because we've got a really good artist community, but it's very hard to break into as a new artist, and that's sort of where I'm coming from a youth perspective.
Exactly. I mean, young people are the new frontier in terms of art
and artistic development.
And realistically speaking, we're the one group who's super keen on the arts, or at least trying to break into it. So making inroads for people to break into that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Do you guys worry that you're going to cancel each other out? I mean, there's three of you, 3 youth votes. I mean, if people wanted to vote for the youth, who do they vote through out of the three of you? Like, will you guys end up backing one of you going into the end, or are you all going to stay right through the end?
Well, let me say first, in answer to who they should vote for, they should vote for the one with the beard because
never trust a mayor with no beard.
It's a sign of strong leadership.
Or perhaps the one with the sexiest mayoral portrait.
Oh, you would mean me because of the beard.
You have a beard, but I can also have a beard, and I look good without a beard.
Transient beard. That's a sign of weak leadership.
I don't look like a school child without a beard.
These are the issues.
These are the big issues right here.
I need to be respected with the beard.
This should be the campaign. That's the campaign.
In all seriousness, I think the point of the 3 youth candidates running is that we're trying to have as much pull for getting these issues on the table. Yep. But as far as being elected, some of these other candidates have more political experience and connections. And as far as running a $300 million a year city, they may have more of the know-how. That said, we're still running to get as many votes as we can because we want them to wake up on the 26th, see how many votes we got, and then be scared. They're losing thousands of votes to young people because we're saying what young people want to hear.
Are you worried about taking votes from any certain candidates?
That's a little bit of a concern. We don't want to steal votes from progressive candidates because, I mean, a lot of the issues that we feel deeply about, some of the other candidates do. But that said, I think the shock value of waking up on the 26th and seeing these large numbers will be enough to make them think about youth issues for the next 4 years. And that's the thing. We can get these issues on the table for this election, but the real tricky part is getting them to think about it in the 4 years in between when they aren't accountable.
For someone who says, my vote doesn't count, what do you say to them?
No.
How do you convince someone to vote that doesn't care?
Well, I mean, ultimately it's difficult if there's no one to vote for. So that's another reason why we're running, is a lot of these people are looking at this list of candidates and saying, none of these people support any issues that I care about. So we're going out there and expressly supporting what they want so that at least they're voting and getting interested in the issues. It's hard to convince someone who doesn't even know who Barry Chalmers or Rob Matheson or Mark Gerritsen are to vote, because then it's the whole process of voting becomes completely meaningless.
Well, you got to get out there and vote, because you don't want my dad to call you and ask you why you haven't voted. Nathan, Nathan, thanks for
thanks for not coming in.
But Kevin and John, thanks for your time. Good luck on the vote, and make sure you get out there and vote. It's a big day on the 25th. Thanks, guys. We'll get to the News Watch update in just a sec.
At FM96.